Hey, everybody. This is Benita Peterson with allfiredupforfreedom.com. I've been getting a lot of questions lately about vote splitting and the concept of vote splitting. So today I'm going to teach you a little bit about that. If you're trying to find me on Facebook, you just got to spell my name right, Benita Peterson, and you can message me over Facebook. If you'd like to learn a bit more about me, you can go to my website, allfiredupforfreedom.com. There's some information on my website about me. It tells you a little bit about my background. And then, of course, there's some focus there on Agenda 2030. I encourage you to read it all if you haven't already. So lots of valuable information on the website. Anyway, today's topic is vote splitting. So what I would like to share with you is an example of vote splitting. So let's look at the constituency of Athabasca, Sturgeon, Redwater, and these are the election results from 2012 as reported by CBC. So in 2012, as reported by CBC, Jeff Johnson, the progressive conservative representative at that time, won with over 7,300 votes. Travis Olson, the Wild Rose Party candidate, came in second place with 5,200 votes, and after that was an NDP rep and then a Liberal rep. There was a time in Alberta when we could split the conservative vote between more than one individual and still end up with a conservative elected. And the last time that occurred was 2012. And this constituency is an example of that. So although the conservative vote was split between two conservatives, Jeff Johnson and Travis Olson, we still ended up with a conservative elected. And that was okay. That was an okay result. Jeff Johnson did some good work for that constituency, Athabasca, Sturgeon, Redwater. Now let's take a look at what happened in 2015, shall we? 2015, the results were a little different in that same constituency. Jeff Johnson only received 5,000 votes. Travis Olson received less than 5,000 votes. And look what happened. In an area that had traditionally voted conservative for years and years and years, an NDP individual was elected, Colin Paquette, with 6,700 votes. How did that happen in an area that traditionally votes conservative? Well, it's because the conservative vote was split. 5,000 votes went to the PC, 4,900 to the Wild Rose Party. It split the vote. It caused an NDP to get elected. If the conservative vote had been combined, we would have had a conservative candidate in there, and we would not have had that NDP candidate elected. Now, let's look at the results for 2019. And sometimes you can find, by the way, voting results on different media. So for example, we were looking at Global News there. We were looking at CBC there. Sometimes you can go to Wikipedia. Right now, we're using Wikipedia for this one. So in this case, the lines changed and the Athabasca riding, which was formerly known as Athabasca Sturgeon Redwater, became Athabasca Barkhead Westlock. And as you can see, the United Conservative candidate was elected. His name's Glenn Van Dyken. That's my MLA. And the New Democrat person came in second with 4,700 votes. So in this particular case, we're quite confident in 2023 that Glenn Van Dyken is going to be reelected as the local conservative candidate. So we're not too concerned about vote splitting here, even if an alternative conservative party or an aggressive independent attempted to run here again in 2023, because as you can see, even if we split the conservative vote in half, we would still end up with a conservative candidate, because you look at the 16,000, you cut it in half, 8,000, 8,000, we would still beat the New Democrat candidate. So you are probably wondering, why is vote splitting a concern when you look at these numbers? Well, I'm hopeful that you recognize that vote splitting is a concern when you look at these numbers from 2015. And for this particular constituency. When you are studying vote splitting, you can't study it as a full province. You have to study it constituency by constituency. And by the way, a great place to go if you're going to study it constituency by constituency is the following website: 338canada.com, Alberta provincial election. Tons and tons of information available at 338canada.com. So in this case, at the moment, this website is looking at the vote overall. And so as you can see, the UCP and the NDP are neck and neck. It's very close. It is very tight. So that is overall for the province. But with this website, we can also study constituency by constituency. And so here are the polls for the province right now. So technically at this time, it's projecting a 44 seat for a majority UCP. It's looking promising, but there's still several days till election day. So we've got a lot of work to do. And when you look at this chart down here, again, you can see that the UCP and the NDP are neck and neck. It's very close. It's very tight. All right. So this is an aggressive campaign that's happening right now. Now, there are some other parties. The Alberta Party, labeled by ABP, has a bit of momentum, a little small, tiny bit there. The Wild Rose Independence Party has a teeny tiny bit of momentum, and their momentum, as you can see, has dropped over the previous year. They've lost a lot of momentum. I think in part because Danielle Smith was elected as a leader of the UCP, and she used to be associated with the Wild Rose name. So I am surmising that what may have happened is these people who think the Wild Rose Independence Party is another version of the Wild Rose Party from back in 2014. What I think may have happened is they might have lost support for the Wild Rose Independence Party, and they would have come over to the UCP. So as you can see, as this green line is going down, this blue line is going up. Okay, so that's where I think the Wild Rose support went, was to the UCP. And that is me surmising that when Danielle Smith announced that she'd be running for leader. So what is politics? Politics is policies and people. And anybody who claims that they don't care about politics, I'm very, very concerned when they make that statement, because politics is policies and people. Politics is what governs how we live our lives. Politics matters. Do you care about the amount of taxes you pay? Do you care about speed limits? Do you care about rules and laws? If you care about any of that, you need to start caring about politics. It is very, very important that we Albertans get engaged, and I mean fully engaged, this election. If you care about policies, politics, people's laws, you need to be fully engaged. Now, let's talk for a few moments about the risk of vote splitting. I'd like to bring your attention to a moment to a constituency called Calgary Elbow. So, as you can see at this moment in the polls, the NDP is leading slightly by 42%. The United Conservative Party, according to these polls, reads 40%. So it's pretty tight. It's a neck and neck race. Now, I heard the other day that there is someone who's apparently conservative minded debating running in this constituency. And what you have to understand is if a conservative runs in this constituency, what's going to happen is, their name or whatever would end up here. And then they might get, some momentum here, a little bit of momentum. But because they're more so to the right of center, where are they going to draw their support from? Well, chances are they're going to be drawing their support from this blue line right here. If they draw support in that area, chances are they're going to take off a piece of this blue line, and it's going to end up over here under them. So what I'm trying to say is when you split the conservative vote, you increase the likelihood that a socialist is going to win. I hope you now have a better understanding of vote splitting. If you'd still like to learn more about vote splitting, then I encourage you to go to a website called wastedvotes.ca and read more. Due to our first past the post system, not every vote counts. That is the sad reality. So you need to visit this website and read through this if you doubt anything I say. Alternatively, you are welcome to get in touch with me if you wish. You can message me over Facebook. My name is Benita Peterson. If you like, you can engage with my website, allfiredupforfreedom.com. In any case, I encourage you to get activated politically as soon as possible for this provincial election. My name is Benita Peterson, ladies and gentlemen. I really appreciate you tuning in, and I hope you tune in and we chat again soon. Bye for now.